Hello, you are welcome to another lesson for today. My name is Paul Williams Ofori. Today we have science. The science is for basic 3. So if you are in basic 3, primary 3, and it means today you are fortunate to be with me. I'm going to take you through science. Now today, what are we looking at? We are looking at strand 4. Strand 4. Forces and what? Energy. Forces and energy. Forces and energy. Under strand 4, we have sub-strand 3. That's forces and movements. Forces and movements. Okay, so the indicator that we are going to look at is explain force and demonstrate how it causes movement. Explain force and demonstrate how it causes movement. Okay, so these are the keywords. These are the keywords. Before we come to the keywords, our main topic is how forces cause movements. How forces cause movements. I believe you will enjoy today's lesson. Okay, now let's look at the keywords. The first one is what? Movements. All of you, movements. Again, movements. Movements comes from the word move. If I ask you to move, what will you do? You change position, where you are standing, where you are sitting, where you find yourself. You change your position and then you go to different place. So movement means moving from one point to what? Another. The next word is what? Force. All of you, force. Again, force. So sometimes you use the word force him, force her. Your mother is forcing you to do A, B, C, D. Or you are forcing your mother to do A, B, C, D. So we are going to look at force from the context of what? Science. So force is also a word that you should know. Force. This is called what? Force. I'll explain it to you later. Or you see the definition or the meaning of force later on. The next one is what? Object. All of you, object. Again, object. So as I said, object could be anything. It could be this smart panel could be an object. My pointer here could be an object. The phone that you are using could be an object. Your book could be an object. So that is what? Object. Effects. All of you, effects. Effects, we are talking about consequences, results of something. What happens after doing something? So effects. 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 All of you, effects. Then this one is what? Direction. 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 Where something is moving towards. Where something is going. Where something is what? Moving towards. That is what? Direction. Now, force is a push or pull on an object. So we mentioned or we saw force, and we are saying that force is what? A push or pull on an object. So what it means is that if an object is there and you push it or you pull it, we describe it as what? Force. Now, if you don't know the difference between pull and push, anytime you are pushing something, it means you want the thing to move away from you. So we push things like this. We push things like this. So if this board is there and I want to push it, I'll push it like this. Have you seen it? And then pull means that you want a thing to come towards you. So you pull something like this. You pull something like this. Very good. So anytime you hear about force, there are two things. Either we push or we pull. So force is a push or a pull of an object. We can also say that force is a push or pull on an object. So that is the meaning of what? Force. Now, we have when force is applied on an object, it can have many effects on the object. So whenever you apply force on an object, it's either you push the thing or you pull the thing. Let's look at the effects. Now, the first one, force can move objects. So if you push something, it will move. If you pull something too, it will move. So look at this. Look at this picture. And tell me what you see here. How many people do you see? 1, 2, 3, 4. What objects are they pushing? Or what object do you see here? Yes, there is a car here. What are they doing to the car? Are they pulling the car or they are pushing the car? They are what? Pushing the car. So they are forcing the car to move. We are saying that force can what? Move. Force can move objects. So if you apply force to an object, it can cause it to what? To move. It can cause it to what? To move. That is why they are applying force to it. In fact, this thing, we all do it in the house. We push so many things. Sometimes you push your brother, you push your sister, your chair, your table, you put them, you apply what? Force. So force can move what? Objects. So some of the effects, if you are asked to write effects of forces, anytime you apply force, what are the consequences? Some of the consequences are that force can move what? Objects. Okay, so if you look at this, these people are applying force to the car, and because of that, the car will move. Okay, let's look at the next one. Another effect of applying force is that force can stop Stop a moving object. Force can stop a moving object. Now let's look at this. This is a goalkeeper. The goalkeeper is catching what? Football. The goalkeeper is catching what? Ball. Have you seen it? So the ball is coming with force. The goalkeeper too is also catching it with what? Force. So if the ball is moving and you want it to stop, you also apply what? Force. The keeper doesn't want the ball to enter into the pool, so he needs to stop the ball, and he can stop it by just what? Applying force to it. So we are saying that force can stop a moving object. Force can stop what? A moving what? Object. The ball is moving towards or into the net, and the goalkeeper says, no, I will not allow the ball to enter to the net. So you apply force to stop the ball. So we use force to stop moving objects. Okay. We are looking at effects of forces. Anytime we apply force to an object, what are the effects? The next one is that, number 3, the next one is that force can change the shape of an object. Force can change a shape of an object. Force can change a shape of an object. So if you look at this one, the first one, you see somebody's hand is here, and this is what? A ball. Round ball here, but the person has not applied force, so you see the shape is intact. But when you come here, you see there is force. The person has applied force to the ball, so the shape that we see is not the same as here, as we see here. The difference is that here the person has applied force to it, but here there is no force. So we are saying that anytime we apply force to something, the shape can what? Change. The shape can change. So we are saying that force can change the shape of an object. Okay. Now another effect of force is this. Number 4. Force can change the direction of a moving object. So if a ball is going to this direction, somebody can use force to change the direction to different side, to this side. So if you look at this man, you see this arrow showing that the ball was moving towards this direction, but it got here and the man hit the ball with what? With this one. So the bat has what? Changed the direction of it. Now the ball, instead of going to this side, it is going to the other side, opposite side, which means that force that was used to hit the ball has changed what? The direction of the ball. So we are saying that force can change what? The direction of a moving what? Object. Okay. Let's look at this. What do you see here? How many of you like doing this thing? The boys and some of the girls. You like playing football. Very good. Now let's look at what happens when you are playing football. So force can increase the speed of a moving what? Object. So if a ball is going and you want the ball to move faster, you can still go and kick the ball. If you kick it hard, you see that the speed will what? Increase. So we are saying that a force can what? Increase the speed of what? A moving object. So if an object is going and you want the object to move faster, you need to apply more force to the object and it will start moving faster for you. Okay. Now let's continue. Force can reduce the speed of a moving object. Sometimes too, if something is moving and you want to reduce the speed that that thing is moving, so you can what? You can apply force to it. So if you look at this man, you see something is going, an object is moving, but the man says no, I don't want the object to move at that pace. So he's using force to reduce the speed at which the object is moving. So if you look at it, you see that the man is applying force here. Then he's trying to pull the thing. Okay. Now we have think per se. Think per se. So in groups of 4 learners, describe a force and state the forces you observe in everyday life. Share your thoughts with the class. So in groups, you look at the things that you do every day. That involves what? That involves the use of what? Force. And then you share it with what? With your colleagues in class. Okay. So the things that we mentioned, we look at what? Effects of force on an object. So anytime you pull something or you push something, what are the effects that happens? So the effect that we mentioned, we are saying that force can move an object. So if you push something, it will move. If you pull something too, it will move. Here too, force can stop moving object. If an object is going, you can use force to stop it. Okay. We are saying that force can change the shape of what? An object. So if an object is there and you want to change the shape, you can use force to change it. So example is what has been shown here. Force can change the direction of a moving what? Object. So if something is going to this side, you can apply force to it and then the direction what? Will change to another side. Here we are saying that an object's speed can be increased anytime you apply force to it. So for example, the ball is here, though the ball is moving, but the moment the person kicks the ball, you see the speed will be what? Increased. The speed will be what? Increased. So we are saying that force can increase the speed of a moving what? Object. Okay, and the last one that we mentioned as one of the effects of forces is that force can reduce the speed of a moving what? Object. Force can reduce the speed of a moving object. Okay, now let's come to this side. Types of force and how they work. Types of force and how they work. All of you, types of force and how they work. So in the first place, we are going to look at some types of what? Forces. Some types of what? Forces, and how these types of forces what? Work. How these types of forces what? Work. Now, what is the first one? The first one is electrostatic force. Should I take it again? Okay, look on the board. Electrostatic force. All of you, electrostatic force. Again, electrostatic force. What is electrostatic force? Have you heard about this before? Okay, look on the board. When a comb or a pen is rubbed against the hair, it becomes what? Electrically charged. It attracts papers when placed or put near them. The papers will move towards the comb or the pen because of a force called electrostatic force. Okay, so now we have this. This force, we are saying that force does something. There are two things that force does. Force either pull or push something. Force either pulls something or pushes something. So here, if you take comb or pen and you rub it in your hair, I don't have hair. I've trimmed my hair. Otherwise, I would have demonstrated that to you. So take pen, take comb, just get piece of paper and then rub the comb in your hair or the pen in your hair vigorously, continuously, and then just place it near where the papers are. You see that the papers will be moving towards, or the pen or the comb will attract what? Will pull the papers. Will pull what? The papers. That shows that electrostatic force has what? Taking place. So this is how electrostatic force occurs, and this is how it's shown. Okay, now let's look at this activity. As I just explained, get a piece of paper, rub your pen in your hair continuously and place it near the papers of paper. Sorry, near the pieces of what? Paper. Share your observation with the class. Okay, so do this and let's see what will happen. Make sure you follow the instructions. Okay, the papers should be pieces, pieces of paper, pieces. Just make sure they are in small sizes. Okay, the next force, we have seen electrostatic force is a type of force and how it works. We are going to look at another one called magnetic force. All of you, magnetic force. Again, magnetic force. So magnetic force is also a type of force, but let me show you. This thing, we call it magnets. We call this thing magnet. How many of you know magnet? How many of you have seen magnet before? How many of you have used magnet before? Or you don't know what magnet is? What we call steam. Yes, the thing that we use to what? To pick pens, to pick nails, pins, blade and other things. We call it steam. We call it what? Steam. But the scientific term or name for it is what? Magnet. You see, there is power in it. That power is able to attract things, pull things, or pushes what? Things. So what we are saying is that magnetic force is a force that can be found in magnetic objects. Okay, now let's read. When you place a magnet near a metal or any magnetic substance like a coin, pin, blade, nails, etc., the magnet will what? Pull or push them away. The magnet uses magnetic force to pull certain objects towards what? Itself, or pulls certain objects away from itself. So listen, magnet does something. It's either pushes something or pulls something towards itself, depending on that thing. So this is an example. This is a magnet, but you could see that all the nails are going towards where? The magnet, meaning the magnet is what? Pulling them. The magnet is pulling them. So because of the magnet, the magnetic force comes from the word what? Magnet. The force within any magnetic object that pulls what? Other metallic substances. Okay. So if there is an object and that object has no metal components, there is no way it can be attracted by a magnet. But if the object has metallic components, the magnet will what? Attract it. Okay, so activity 2. Get a piece of pin or get pieces of pins and spread them on a table. Take a magnet and send it close to what? The pins, and observe what will happen. So if you have pins and then you have magnets, just spread the pins and then take the magnet, send it closer to the pins, and you see that all the pins will start what? Going towards what? The magnet. Now the next one is what? Frictional force. So we have seen two types of forces. We have seen what? Electrostatic force. We have also seen what? Magnetic force. Okay, so this is what? Frictional force. We also call it force of friction. Force of friction or frictional force. Okay, so this is a force that occurs between two opposing surfaces. When a toy car moves on the floor, the surface of the car tire and the ground come into contact, and both surfaces restrict or oppose each other. This force is called frictional force or force of what? Friction. So if you look at this car, this is a toy car. It moves on the floor. So this type of force only happens between the surfaces of two objects. For example, let me put my things here. This is my palm, one surface. This is my palm, another surface. If I put them together and one moves over the other, so you see that what is happening here, because the two surfaces have come into contact and one is moving over the other, we call the force that happens as what? Frictional what? Force. The same thing happens to cars. You see the tires. The tires is one surface, and then the floor too is another surface. And you see the tires will be moving on what? On the floor. So the floor and the tile are two different surfaces that have come into what? Contact. So frictional force is all about two surfaces that have come what? Into contact, and one is moving against the other. Always there is restriction. One makes it difficult for other to move over it. Do you get it? So that is what we mean by what? Frictional force. Okay, so let's look at this activity. Get a toy car and push it. Observe how it moves from the beginning to the time it stops moving. What causes it to stop moving? Share your thoughts with the class. So if you have this car toy and then you move it, at the beginning you see that it will be moving fast, but later on it will be slowing down and it will get to a point that it will stop. It's because of frictional force. It makes it difficult for the car to what? To move. Okay, so the next one is what? Elastic force. All of you, elastic force. Again, elastic force. How many types of forces have you looked at so far? Apart from this, we have looked at 3. We have looked at electrostatic. We have looked at magnetic. The last one that we looked at is what? Frictional, or force of friction. We are looking at the 4th one, which is what? Elastic what? Force. So this is another type of force, and it is a force in object that make it possible for the object to be what? Stretched, twisted. Examples of elastic materials are rubber band, catapults, waistband, etc. So look at this boy. Yes, how many of you have done this before? If you have stayed in a village before, if you have lived in village before, in village, the catapult doesn't look like this. It's wood that we use, mostly we use to do. And then we have our rubber tie here. So this is where the elastic force takes place. So this side you can stretch it, you can twist it. So the force that we have here is called what? Elastic force. It is not only in catapult that we see this type of force. In our dresses, the waistband, they use what? The waistband has force in it. That force is called what? Elastic what? Force. So all object that has elastic force can be stretched. It can be what? Stretched and twisted. Okay. Just as the boy is stretching what? The catapult. That activity here, activity 4. Take a boxer short and stretch the waist. Take a rubber band and stretch it. Stretch a catapult. Do not put a stone in it. So if you are doing this as a demonstration in the classroom or wherever, you don't need to put a stone into it. Otherwise, you cause damage. Okay, so the next one is that observe what happens in all the things that you do. So with the boxer short, if you stretch it, the rubber band, if you stretch it, the catapult, if you stretch it, you see that it will be able to be stretched. You can stretch it. Do you get it? And you can also twist it as well. But something like this, I cannot stretch it. I cannot stretch it. So there are some things that can be stretched. There are some things that cannot be stretched. There are some things that can be twisted. There are some things that cannot be twisted. So we have given examples. So things that can be stretched and twisted have what? This type of force called what? Elastic force. Now, this is an activity as I read for you. We are bringing our lesson to a close. So what have we learned today? We have learned about forces. And we are saying that force is a push or pull on an object. Force is a push or pull on an object. A force can move, stop, change direction, or a shape of an object. The types of forces are electrostatic, elastic, magnetic, frictional, and what? Other forces. So there are more forces or more types of what? Forces. But today we have looked at 4 of them. We have looked at 4 of them and how they occur or how they happen. Now, we have exercises here. Exercise 1. Underline the correct answer. I've told you that Kopromotive series, all our books, we have different types of exercises for you to assess your level of understanding. So you take your time and you do it. This is exercise 2, this is exercise 3, exercise 4 is also here. Look at it. We have home assignment. Okay, so describe one activity that happens at home or in school because of what? These forces. So frictional force, 2 elastic force, 3 magnetic force, 4 electrostatic force. So this is what you should know, and I believe that you'll be able to answer these questions. Take your time, read the books. Get a copy of the book Kokomoti series. Get a copy, read it, and then try to answer all the questions. If there is something that you find difficult to understand, just reach out to me. You can also reach out to your parents, your class teachers. I believe they can help you, they can assist you. Remember to also share our platform, our link to to your friends, to your classmates, and other people to watch this platform. In fact, we give you information about the things happening in the classroom. What your teacher, they teach you in the classroom, the same thing is being done here. By here, we are using smart board. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. If you have any suggestion too, you are welcome. My name is Paul Williams Ofori Senior. Bye-bye.